When filmmaker Bill Shelley taped musicians like the Stray Cats, Joan Jett and the Black Hearts, and Twisted Sister in local venues on Long Island during the 1970s, he had no idea the value that footage would have today.
I didn't think of it until a year or so after they were popular. I said, didn't I film them? And I went back and looked, and there, sure enough, there they were.
In the 80s, Shelley created Shelley Archives and says his studio in New York houses over 100,000 reels of 35 and 16 millimeter film. He's been collecting reels since he was a child.
The films are 80 years old, sometimes 90 or 100, so my job is to clean up the film and take all the scratches and bad splices out.
And says film runs in the family.
I had a grandmother who worked for the Edison Company in 1900. She was a child actress, and she also hand-colored film frame by frame as a kid.
Now Shelley calls his business a good accident. For the past 3 years, he's traveled all over the country showing rare rock and roll footage in theaters. The Avon here in Stamford happens to be one of them.
We're so lucky to have him and to have found him because he has this abundance of knowledge, this wealth of knowledge about bands, about music, about film, and obviously this incredible collection.
The Avon is tied to the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington, Long Island, where Shelley showed footage of the Beatles to his first audience of 2000. Now he visits the Avon once a month, where people can see singers like Frank Sinatra.
Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week.
It's the memories, you know, people can't get to see this anymore, so this is the only way. So I'm just glad to give it back to people. I'd worked other jobs. I worked in factories, and I worked in electrical corporations and telephone soliciting, things like that, and I was sort of a failure at everything. But I knew film. I always loved film history, and I loved the art of film.